So we were talking about this, and you were saying that Frankenstein is a sci-fi movie. And I was like, what?
Yeah, well, when I was looking up, like, sci-fi as a genre and, like, what its roots were, how it started, it was just listing out all the books that were, like, the beginning of our understanding of sci-fi. And apparently, like, in the 2nd century was, like, the actual first sci-fi writings, which is wild. Like, to think that people were thinking about artificial intelligence before there was such thing as, like, technology or computers kind of blew my mind. But, like, in a more modern, somewhat modern setting, Frankenstein was one of the first books or, like, works of fiction that is considered sci-fi. And yeah, like, I wouldn't have immediately thought of it in that genre either. Like, it's more horror. That's kind of how we understand Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster today. But, like, it very much fits sci-fi. It's like creating a being. Like, it's not artificial intelligence, but it's kind of like another kind of life. Like, bringing something to life that wasn't before, like having different technologies. You know, like, it does fit into the sci-fi genre.
So then, what about, like, Transformers? Because isn't that technically, like, another being? And their technology as well, like, they're robots.
Yeah, like, this is the thing. I think a lot of people don't realize that Transformers are aliens. Like, they are from a different planet.
What? They're aliens?
I just, like, distinctly remember at the beginning of, like, it must be the first movie, it shows, like, these, like, it shows the Transformers, like, falling to Earth. It just, like, has a scene of space and shows them, like, entering the atmosphere. Like, that's how the movie starts, which is very sci-fi. Like, of course, showing space is sci-fi, but yet, like, Transformers doesn't seem like sci-fi. And I honestly think that's because it doesn't seem smart enough. Like, sci-fi has, like, a lot of intellectual ideas associated with it, and Transformers is not a smart movie. Like, this is, like, a very, like, dumb action movie, like a very kind of, like, teenage boy movie, just something dumb and fun, lots of explosions. Like, Transformers just doesn't seem smart enough to be labeled sci-fi.
But then, if they're aliens, like, what's the technology part of them? You know, like, they change shape. Is it like there's, like, an alien being inside the, like, the, I guess the actual technology pieces, like the metal pieces? Or is the metal piece, like, their skin? Like, I'm so confused about
You're like,
this.
where does it keep its brain?
Yeah, like, where is the little thing that controls all the other things?
It's just a different kind of life. We just need to conceive of it as a different kind of life, and, like, they have intelligence. It is intelligent life, but it might not have, like, a brain per se.
So they were born that way.
Yeah, we just gotta accept that it's a robot and an alien. That's it. Like, you can't think further about Transformers. That's the issue.
Well, where was it adapted? Like, was it from, like, a comic? Surely it must be more intellectual than that. Like, you know, I kind of feel like...
You think it's based on source material? I don't think so. There's no way.
I don't think so.
This is a, like, Michael Bay written and directed movie for sure. I haven't even looked it up. I'm just assuming that he wrote it as well.
It also seems like it could be derived from, like, anime or something like that. Like, I feel like that could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that they're aliens is like, wait, so then how about Superman? Is Superman technically also sci-fi because he comes from another planet? Or, like, Wonder Woman? Wait, no, Wonder Woman, we identified actually comes...
She is from Earth. She just seems like an alien because she's, like, not...
powerful.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if she's human. She's, like, a different kind of person.
Yeah, is she human? I mean, you can't be human if you can run so quickly. Or fly. Can she fly? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. The basis of Wonder Woman did not stick with me. But Superman, like, it must technically count as sci-fi because it has those hallmarks of the genre, but we do not think about Superman as sci-fi. Like, we don't...
Spider-Man as sci-fi because, like, you're creating a new being by having a spider bite that person.
Or Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like, that is like a robot,
True.
right? That is like very futuristic. Like he's almost like in space at some parts.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Yeah.
flying around.
Like close to the moon.
Yeah.
Because he can
But
get
it's-
that far.
It's strict action. It's not sci-fi. So I think a lot of the times, like, even if something fits into the genre of sci-fi because it just like has certain aspects that we associate with the genre, like, we don't collectively think about it that way. So again, like, these genres are not strict boxes. They're very much like always changing.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes it confusing about sci-fi is that I've come to the realization that I enjoy a few more sci-fi movies than I thought. And I'm not saying that I enjoy Superman and Transformers. Like, they're like films. They're fine. But I'm talking about like Arrival or The Martian. Like The Martian seems like more of a survival drama, almost like an adventure kind of movie.
Yeah.
And so like sci-fi is just like one part of the movie. It's just because of the setting and because of the technology.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel better about the upcoming few months of watching sci-fi movies.
Right. The Martian is very much like a human story, and it's about the characters, even though it is also, of course, showcasing like the survival of this man. So I think like there are obvious exceptions. Like, we need to find the places where a sci-fi movie like breaks out of the conventions of the genre and is more human or is like different in some way. And I think that's the kind of sci-fi that you like. And me too. Like, that's the kind of sci-fi that I like as well, when it is more human and it is more intimate. Like Arrival and even like Tenet, I think these are good examples because they are different. They don't feel like strict sci-fi.
And you also mentioned, well, actually, we were talking earlier in the episode about how sci-fi is about fighting for the world, fighting for like human civilization, what it means to be human, and also mostly the world not ending, like making sure the world survives and humans survive. So climate movies, which I didn't really consider as sci-fi, but I guess like I wouldn't be able to put them into another genre. I feel like climate movies are also that, like The Day After Tomorrow, or I don't know, because it has to do with the world ending. So then I feel like there's always like an apocalypse lens to sci-fi movies. Do you agree, disagree?
Yeah.
Like there's always like something about to like not blow up, but like things ending.
I think it's often about like trying to save humanity, but again, not always. Tenet, for sure, that's about trying to save humanity from like a nuclear end of the world kind of situation. And the authors follow a book after The Martian that is about saving humanity, but The Martian is just about saving one person. So I think like in certain cases it could be about the apocalypse, but not necessarily.
Okay, also, one last movie that I was surprised, well, not surprised, but kind of like laughing about the fact that it's a sci-fi movie is Shape of Water.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Shape of Water is not, I feel like it's not a sci-fi movie. It feels more like a fantasy movie, but it is like a creature. Mm-hmm. But is it only one of them? I don't remember. Does he have friends?
I think you're supposed to know like that there are more, but we only see one. Like, he's not the only creature in this species.
Right. So it seems more fantastical though.
Yeah.
Than sci-fi. It's also not set in the future. Anyway, sci-fi is such a beast, haha.
Yeah, it's kind of like amorphous. Like, it's just always changing, and that's what I think is really cool about the genre. Like, that it continues to change and how it is reshaped. Because Dune, like, even though Dune was written in the 60s, 80s, like, I don't even remember. It was a long time ago. There was a first Dune movie which was made in the 80s, which a lot of people hated. But now it has been remade, and like the way that we can keep reinterpreting and re-understanding these works through a more modern lens, like as times change, is really, really interesting. How these same themes come up again and again.
Yeah. And I mean, most of the time it's about saving the world. And sure, yeah, like Superman and Spider-Man, they always will save the world. But at the end of the day, I think there's still something very exciting about understanding that the world is going, like, potentially has an end, and how we can do something to protect it. And I think that unites everyone together.
Yeah.
Whether that's like a strictly sci-fi movie, if that exists, or if it's like sci-fi mixed with superhero, or sci-fi mixed with, I don't know, drama, whatever. I think that's a unifying theme, and that's what draws people to the genre, is that, like, understanding of fragility of the human civilization, but also the strength within that can overcome any obstacle and hurdle.
Yeah, I do love this idea of, like, everyone having to work together to solve a common problem, because usually humanity doesn't work like that. Like, unless we really all have the same common goal to save the planet or to save our species, you know, people are, like, looking out for themselves. They're not working together with other people. So that is something that I think is, like, a really heartwarming aspect of the genre.
That's probably why Superman is not a sci-fi movie, because Superman is one being that's saving everyone. Like, it's
but
not
that
just
is
one
also,
person.
That is also
the Matrix.
A hallmark of, yeah, a sci-fi movie sometimes.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, I guess these are just different kinds of sci-fi movies, or different tropes that you can find in sci-fi movies.